Hi, this is Shalimar Steinberg, and today we'll be talking about using the SolidWorks 2019 program, and we will be discussing the basic user interface, how to interact with it, how to access the help, and how to use it to create our first drawing. So let's go ahead and get started. On my screen here, you can see that I have SolidWorks open. When you first open the screen, it takes you to this welcome window, and this is to allow you to either open a drawing that you're already working on, start a new drawing, or access things like what's new with the program and some online help and support things that you can use. You'll notice that that's the Home tab. There's also a Recent tab, which will show you projects that you've recently been working on. A Learn tab, which will take you to free tutorials and help about the program, and an Alerts tab, which will take you to any kind of notifications that SolidWorks is sending out to people. So you'll see here that there are three basic types of file that you can create with SolidWorks. We have a part, which is a single object which can be drawn. And you could draw it as 2D or 3D. And then there are assemblies, which are a series of parts that fit together. So you draw the individual parts and then show how they join to each other. And finally a drawing, which is the 2D flat drawing of your part and assembly pieces. So you can go to Open if you have existing things, or you can go here to New and say, for example, I want to draw my first part. So if this is the first time that you're using the program, it's going to ask you about your units and dimension standards. So you can select the default settings for your templates. Generally in mechanical design, which is mostly what we use SolidWorks for, we're going to be going with the millimeter gram second as the standard. And then the dimension standard would be, for a second here, ISO, yeah. And that is the International Standards Organization settings. So once you're happy with those, you can say OK. And those will be standard then for any drawing that you make unless you change them for each individual drawing, which you have the option to do. And now we're letting it load up the new drawing template. And you'll see here that there are word options for the different tools on your menu bar. There are also icons that represent those same things. So, for example, save, print, open, home, settings, or options in this case. All right, so then if we look at our general interface, we have the windows that are part of our drawing. So it sets us up in SolidWorks CAM, and we've got some things where we can zoom into areas, show previous views, show a section view, dynamic annotations, etc. We're mostly going to be starting out at the sketch phase of drawings, so we'd click on the Sketch tab. And over here on the left, you see what we call the Manager pane. And so this is these tabs here. So the Feature Manager, which allows you to look at the different parts of your actual object, the planes, etc. This is called the tree, what do they call it? Sorry, I'm trying to remember the exact terminology here. The Feature Manager Design Tree is what they call it. And this is where you can open the different parts of your drawing to look at them from different angles, etc. Then you have your Property Manager, your Configurations Manager, the Dimensions Manager, the Display Manager, so how things are going to appear on the screen, and the CAM feature tree, and you can continue to scroll over to the operations tree, etc. We will get into those later. So right now we're on our feature manager design tree, and you'll see here that you've got a few different things, but you can specify materials. You can see the front plane, top plane, or right plane of your drawing. So for any three-dimensional object, when we are attempting to draw it, we consider the planes as being shown if you had the object inside of a clear glass six-sided box, so a cube, and you projected each face onto one of the sides of the glass, those are the different planes that they're showing you. And we call those orthographic planes. And there are 6 of them. Generally, for most objects, you only need 3 of them in order to show the object its true size and shape. And the most typical ones of those are the front plane, if you were looking at it straight on, basically. The top plane, so bird's eye view looking straight down. And the right plane, if you rotated the front view 90 degrees, you would get to the right plane. Then there would be a back plane or rear plane, a bottom plane, and a left side plane as well. And depending on the object, you might show those. The origin is what is called basically the 0 spot on the XYZ axis of your drawing. So it would be where you want to typically start your drawings from, just so that you know where they're located in space, basically. Okay, now under the sketch command, you see that we've got sketch, which creates a new sketch or edits an existing sketch. We've got the ability to create a dimension for an object in our drawing. And then here is where we actually have our sketch tools. So the lines, circles, splines, which are curved continuous lines, rectangles from corner to corner, arcs, ellipses, straight slots, polygons, and fillets are all here available for you when you want to draw them. So you can check into any of these. So for example, if I'm in the top plane, I've selected the top plane. Now you can see that it's showing me where it exists. And I can go into sketch and I can say on the top plane, I want to start, and it turns the top plane towards me so that that is the one that I'm looking at. And I can edit the settings of the new line or sketch a new line. So I can tell the orientation as sketched, make it exactly horizontal, vertical, or angle it. And the options, is this a construction line? Should it be infinite length? Should it be a midpoint line? Or I can just come over onto the screen and left click and go ahead and start actually drawing. And you see that the showing of my top plane has disappeared because realistically my top split plane is infinite in size. And you see that I have these yellow lines helping me with making sure things line up correctly, so I can drag out with them just like in AutoCAD. And I can draw my basic shape. At this stage, I'm not worrying about the dimensions. I am just sketching out my basic shape. And so you can see that it went shaded, and that's because I created a closed shape, which now means that this is a side of an object that could be extruded into a three-dimensional shape if I'm ready for that. All right, so now that I've showed you how to find the front, top, and right planes and the basic interaction with the sketching tools, your first assignment is going to involve drawing your first part. And it is a tutorial provided by SolidWorks themselves. So inside the program here, you can click on the little home icon. And under there, you're going to go to the Learn screen. And you're going to go to Tutorials Step by Step. And then over here under Getting Started, you're going to click on Introduction to SolidWorks, Create a Part and a Drawing. And you're just going to work through the steps. As you'll see down at the bottom, it advances you through the project. And the nice thing about this is that as you advance through, if you see a orange rimmed button in the tutorial, you can click on that, and it causes that button to then flash inside your SolidWorks program. So it's going to help you locate the things that you need to locate in order to be working on this assignment. And I will have more details about the assignment as well on Moodle and you'll have a week to work on this one. So you should be good to go. Feel free to contact me, and remember that I am available for help Mondays and Thursdays during office hours from 10 to 11 on Zoom, or you can reach out to me for alternate appointments if you need to. All right, let's have fun getting started.